Do you have any way of fighting fire in there?
Only God.
April 19, 1993. After a 51-day standoff, the FBI fires tear gas to force the Branch Davidians out of Mount Carmel. There are still 25 children inside Mount Carmel.
We're in the process of placing tear gas into the building. This is not an assault. The time is to lead your people out now.
The FBI uses CS gas, a pyrotechnic tear gas made for outdoor use. They know that Koresh has gas masks, but gas masks don't fit babies and children.
Abusive as it sounds, and I admit it does, we were banking on that discomfort to convince the parents to bring those kids out.
This is my daughter, Lina.
Biggest mistake we made was that we did not accurately estimate the extent of control that David Koresh had over those parents, that we were depending upon the parental instinct.
The tear gas, intended for 2 full days, is used up in just 2 hours. And still, no one emerges from Mount Carmel.
All of a sudden, all this smoke came down the outside of the building. When it got to this hole, it was like it just got sucked in, and almost immediately it turned black.
6 hours after the gassing begins, fires erupt in several places in the main building. The controversy over who set the fires continues till today.
I could feel this tremendous heat over the top of my head, and that kind of galvanized me to get out through this hole. And somehow I landed on my feet, I think, when I got outside and I looked, and one of the jackets I had on, it was all just melting and skin was rolling off my hands.
The entire building is burned down in just 30 minutes. Clive Doyle is one of 9 survivors from the final fire. But where are the children?
When the fire started, I walked outside and looked at that building just hoping and praying that I'd see those kids coming out. And there were no kids.
This Armageddon is televised. Kathy Jones knows her former husband is still in the compound.
I know, it was just like a bad, bad dream. I just couldn't believe that that was happening. I mean, so many people had come out. And I just kept waiting. I knew it was gonna come out.
Kiri Jewell is braced for her mother's death in the fire.
I watched the whole thing on CNN, and I just sat there. I didn't cry. I knew that she was gone, even though she wasn't physically gone. I knew that she had left me emotionally a long time ago. As sad as it was, and I woke up the next morning and I remembered holding her picture, and I was crying.
Dana Okimoto left Mount Carmel a year earlier with her 2 sons by Koresh. 4-year-old Sky recognizes his father on television.
Oh, it ain't nothing, tough guy like me.
They show footage of David. Sky recognizes him, of course.
This is one of my favorite sons here. They're all my favorite sons, but this is Skyborn and Scooter.
When the fire happened and nobody came out, and every day Sky's asking, is my daddy dead? And I have no answer. It's just, I don't know. I think so.
I feel like I was done a great disservice, you know? And of course, I didn't think things through at all. So it's like, basically, government's the bad guy. They killed my father. I can't do anything about it. I'm gonna be pissed and take it out on the world. I thought that, you know, something happened that I don't think even he planned for, and he would be angry too. So I felt that I could be angry for him sometimes.
After the fire, the FBI finds all the children dead, huddled with their mothers in a vault. Most are dead from the fire, but some have been shot. including Clive Doyle's daughter, Sherry.
I know they were wrapping the children in wet blankets and wet towels because it didn't have any gas masks for it. Certainly the gassing and the fire would have been the ultimate horror.
Tragically, there were a lot of lessons to be learned when this whole thing was over. And a lot of changes have been made, but that doesn't bring back one of those kids.
At the Methodist home, the surviving children are told about the fire by workers there.
Somebody went in the living room and turned on the TV, and it was the building on fire, all the smoke and everything. And then we kind of realized what was going on.
I remember my sister just crawling up under the table and just bawling with some other girls. Excuse me, I'm about to start crying.
My mom tried to get me out. I didn't want to come out. I didn't want to see anybody. I couldn't believe that anything like that happened. Most of all, I couldn't believe that. You know, my dad had did that. I don't know. It was really hard to lose my dad because I was really close to him, so.
The tragedy of the 74 deaths from the last fire still haunts Byron Sage.
Every one of those precious kids that are depicted on that tape perished in the fire. To this day, when you think back about that fact, it tears your heart out. How in the world could something with so much effort have ended so tragically?
The FBI said that the reason it went in on April the 19th and the reason it used CS gas in a building knowing that there are no gas masks for children was that it wanted to protect those children. In its misguided effort and its arrogance, it killed the children it wanted to save.
21 children left Mount Carmel before the final fire. But how do they survive losing their families and loved ones?